Devim Saraswatam Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat Nastaprayasu Abandurasyu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Tamasloke Bhakti Bhavatir Naistaki. So, thank you for coming today. We're continuing reading and discussing the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which is called the Divisions of Faith. Today we're on verse number 7, and I'll read, and then you can repeat after. Aharasya tva api sarvasya trividho bhagavat priyaya te sambhedham iman srinu. Aharasya tu api sarvasya trividho bhavati priya yagnatapasya tata dhanam te sambedam iman sunu. Someone else? Aharastu api sarvasya trividho bhavati priya te sambedham iman sunu. Sambedham sunu. Aharasya jipam sasya trividho bhavati priya yagyastapasata dhanam tesham vedam imam srnu. Mataji's. Arasya tu api sarvasya trividho bhavati priya yagyasa tapapastana dhanam te sambedam imam sunu. Yeah, text 7, yes. Okay, so this is the translation here. Even food of which we all partake is of three kinds, according to the three modes of material nature. The same is true of sacrifice, austerities, and charity. Listen, and I shall tell you of the distinctions of these. Purport. In terms of different situations and the modes of material nature, there are differences in the manners of eating, performing sacrifices, austerities, and charities. They are not all conducted on the same level. Those who can understand analytically what kind of performances are in what modes of material nature are actually wise. Those who consider all kinds of sacrifices or foods or charity to be the same cannot discriminate, and they are foolish. There are missionary workers who advocate that one can do whatever he likes and attain perfection. But these foolish, guideless are not acting according to the directions of Scripture. They are manufacturing ways and misleading the people in general. Namo Vishnu Vedaya Krishna Vistaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvasi Shisunyavadi Skatati Satana. So For most of the devotees, the topics that are being discussed between Krishna and Arjuna, they are on an elementary level, and hopefully everyone that attends Bhagavad Gita classes, they have intelligence enough to see what lesson Krishna is giving to Arjuna, and by the questions being asked by Arjuna, what he is trying to have Krishna divulge for the benefit of all posterity, all of mankind. So this chapter here is dealing with the divisions of faith, and in order to understand, we have to understand the complexities of this material world. So we have found ourselves in a situation where things are not always clear. The reason for that is because we are perfect entities living with imperfect facilities, meaning our material bodies. So the bodies, of course, are subjected to defects, committing mistakes, to be dishonest, anyway, so forth. I forgot to. But well, that's one of the things, is to be forgetful also of Krishna. So things are not always clear, and so many things here within this material world are working against us, trying to distract us from the true purpose of life. And one of the main culprits that is causing us a distraction from our true purpose here in this material world are the modes of nature. So, of course, the modes of material nature are goodness, passion, and ignorance. And these three modes of material nature, they afflict every living entity within this material world. And there will always be one mode that becomes prominent, and that mode will dictate the behavior of the living entities in this material world. And it will also determine if unsuccessful, of course, in spiritual activities, if the living entity is going to go up to a more heavenly planet, or down to a more hellish planet, or take birth in one of 8,400,000 species of life. So until we can reach that perfection, then we will continue to take birth after birth after birth after birth. So Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, verse number 5, Sattvam Rajas Taman iti guna prakriti sambhava nibhadhanti mahabaho dihi dihinam avyayam. Material nature consists of three modes: goodness, passion, and ignorance. When the living entity comes in contact with nature, he becomes conditioned by these three modes. So, hopefully, just by observing other living entities, other people, we can discriminate and decide about which mode these people are being influenced most by. So why is it that the living entity becomes affected by this material energy? Is because Krishna produces three types of energies. One is the spiritual, one is the material, and the third energy is the marginal energy. So all of us being part of that marginal energy, we can be influenced by either the spiritual energy of the Lord or the material energy of the Lord. Krishna further says in 14th chapter, verse number 6, Tatra sattvam nirmatatva prakasyakam ananmayanam sukha sangena bandhanti jnana sangi chanangaha. O sinless one, the mode of goodness, being purer than the others, is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in that mode develop knowledge, but they become conditioned by the concept of happiness. So, Srila Prabhupada emphasized that we should try to at least elevate ourselves to the mode of goodness. So the reason he gave Brahminical initiation is that Brahmins are supposed to be representatives of this mode of goodness, and from that mode of goodness there can be a transformation, and we can go one step further. What comes after the mode of goodness? Pure goodness, or it's called Sudasattva. Yes, so pure goodness comes after that. So, and until we reach at least that platform of goodness, it's not possible for us to advance into pure spiritual goodness. But simply being good by itself isn't enough. It says that many people, once they reach this mode of goodness, they become content with their surroundings, with their situations. If one is in the mode of goodness, the mind is more peaceful, there's less agitation, we're less distracted. Normally, our material comforts are taken care of, and so we become happy and think that we have achieved our goal, just to be good. Those in the mode of goodness, they, in many cases, they want to do philanthropic activities, feed the hungry, give money to different charities, provide welfare for those that need assistance, and in so doing, they, in Sanskrit the word is called pratista. They get this feeling of I am doing so much, I am accomplishing so much, I am so generous, I am giving in charity, I am providing for the benefits of all of these people. And so who is always in front? I am doing this, I am doing that, I am this, I am that. And this is also an illusion. So simply elevating oneself to the mode of goodness is the starting point from where one who has a little bit of intelligence can understand that there is something beyond charity, something beyond doing pious activities, being kind, generous, and all of these different activities. And those people become eligible to take to spiritual activities and spiritual life and begin the process of self-realization. So, but just being in the mode of goodness is not satisfactory. So Krishna also says in the 14th chapter, Rajo Jagat Maka Vidhi Trishanga Samud Bhavam Tanib Dad Nanti Kuntaya Kama Sangena Dehimani. Those in the mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longings, O son of Kunti. And because of this, one is bound to material fruitive activities. So most people we see in this material existence, they are in mixed modes of passion and ignorance. So everyone wants something. So in order to get what they want, they have to provide some type of service to another living entity or to a society or to their family members to achieve their goal. And until that goal is achieved, there is a continual hankering and longing, and this agitates the mind and disrupts any possibilities of higher thinking. So in order to get this mentality from our daily activities, then Krishna will later explain what must be done and what must not be done. So even in our own daily lives, we are motivated by passion. So some devotees you can see are so passionate, but if that passion is dovetailed into devotional service, then it can be rewarding. But if it's just for self-aggrandizement, to achieve fame, recognition, and such as this, then it's a distraction, and it's not recommended. So the last one is the mode of ignorance, and that's also in the 14th chapter, verse 8. It says, O son of Bharata, the mode of ignorance causes the delusion of all living entities. The result of this mode is madness, indolence, and sleep, which binds the conditioned soul. So we can see very simply, if you just walk out on the streets, those that are being harassed by this mode of ignorance. So, of course, the most common conception and understanding of the mode of ignorance is that we accept these bodies as being who we are, that we are these material bodies. So this is the first and the most prominent stage of ignorance. But also those people in either goodness, passion, or ignorance, their character, their behavior, their attraction, as Prabhupada mentions in the sloka and in the purport, are attracted to different types of food and different activities. So the mode of goodness, it's described that the foods that are in the mode of goodness are sweet, juicy, very palatable to the tongue, in such as this. And those that are in the mode of passion are spicy, salty, pungent, and those foods that are in the mode of ignorance are abominable to even think. I don't know how many of you have heard of a fruit called durian. Does everyone know what a durian is? A durian fruit looks like a jackfruit. It's big like this, and they grow in places like Malaysia, Thailand, and such as that. And the meat of the durian fruit is very creamy, but the fruit itself smells like stool. It stinks so badly, but people in these countries that I mentioned, they, now is the season. I was just in Malaysia, and I'm going back again next week, but every corner they're selling these fruits, and people, they buy these fruits and they devour them. So foods themselves, even fruits, we think of fruits as being something in the mode of goodness, like a mango or a papaya or watermelon or sitafal or some other types of fruit. These are sumptuous, juicy, sweet, delicious tasting fruits, but because of the modes that these people are in, they are attracted to this foul smelling fruit. They used to transport these fruits from Thailand to Hong Kong in the cargo holds of airplanes, jets, but because the smell was so bad, the whole plane would become saturated with this foul smell. So eventually they made it against the law to transport this fruit. So I know even some devotees have eaten it and they like it. It's got a good taste, but just the smell alone. So It's also saying that this whole material world is so perplexing, and it is keeping us here, birth after birth. And most people, they don't understand what the true meaning of life is. So why have we been given these human forms of life? Why do we have intelligence? Why are we capable of organizing societies and creating all of these material gadgets and things such as this, whereas other species of life, they are by the laws of nature forced to behave in only one way. So why is it that humans, they don't fit into that category? So the modes of nature, they are described as being like different levels or layers of dust or dirt that have accumulated, covering our true identity. And so Lord Chaitanya says, Chaito Darpanamajanam, so we must cleanse the heart of all of this contamination and hopefully strive to elevate ourselves to the mode of goodness. So, but as long as we have these material bodies, these modes of nature are going to, they're going to be afflicting their punishment on us. But a wise man is not disturbed by the changes, like it says, the body changes. Dihi nojmenyata dehi kumara yovanam jaha tatatyantra praptris divya tatyamuyate. So the body is changing. We're going from being young to old, and then from old age to death. But we should not be disturbed. Out of wisdom, knowing first that we are different than the material body, we are spirit soul, and when these changes take place, we just accept them. And if we can keep our consciousness in that frame, not being disturbed by the material energy, how it is affecting us. We've just gone through a very hot summer season. So many of us suffered because we might live in a place that doesn't have electricity part of the day. There's no cool air or whatever. We have salt water coming from the wells. So one who can live through these difficulties and keep themselves on that platform of goodness, then they become candidates for pseudo-sattva. And this is the platform that is beyond the modes of material nature. So by ourselves, it's very difficult to reach this platform to reach that platform of pure goodness. So what does Bhagavad Gita recommend that we do? It says that one must approach a bona fide spiritual master and inquire from him submissively and render service unto that individual, because they have already seen the truth. So they know what the truth is. We may be curious as to what is the truth. Why am I being commanded by my senses to act in a certain way? And they know the answers to these. And this is why Bhagavad Gita is being spoken. Arjuna is acting as the student, and Krishna is acting as the teacher. But in no way at any time should anyone ever think that Arjuna is actually in ignorance, because Krishna was Arjuna's dearmost friends. They would eat together, they would share the same bedrooms together, and in such a way. So only someone who is already self-realized and completely surrendered to Krishna would be eligible. But for our benefit, Arjuna is asking the questions that we should be thinking of. We should be asking these questions to ourselves. So when you ask these questions to yourselves, then in your heart there is Chaitaguru, and Chaitaguru will hear your inquiries and your curiosities, and then therefore then he will make the spiritual master appear, and then the questions that have perplexed you can be answered through the lips of the bona fide spiritual master. So Prabhupada wrote one small book called Higher Tastes. So what does a higher taste mean? So someone who is obsessed with alcohol or narcotics or meat and these things, these are activities of those in the mode of ignorance. But higher taste means that we no longer have a desire to, as Lord Chaitanya says, accumulate wealth, to enjoy the company of beautiful women or men, to have many followers, and to receive adoration and respect from others. When we can give up all of this, we have a higher taste. All I want is your devotional service, birth after birth after birth. So this is the purpose behind this small book, Higher Taste, that Srila Prabhupada read. So in this material body, there are 9 gates. So we have 2 eyes, 2 ears, 2 nostrils, the mouth, the genitals, and the anus. And when all of these 9 gates are working together systematically, the result is that we can keep ourselves in the mode of goodness. So how how do we engage all of these 9 gates in these activities? So we were given 2 eyes, and these eyes were meant for reading Shastra and looking at the beautiful form of the Lord. The 2 nostrils were given to us for smelling the fragrant flowers offered to the Lord. The 2 ears were meant for, again, hearing about activities of the Lord. And the genitals were given to us for procreating Krishna conscious children, not engaging in illicit sex life simply for wanton pleasure. And then, of course, evacuating is to rid our body of all the impurities that have accumulated, so our body will be fresh and clean and free from disease. So but when someone has an increased attachment to material object and an uncontrollable desire and hankering, and goes through so much endeavor to achieve their wants, then these people are under the influences of the mode of passion. The businessman, to achieve success and some wealth, they make all kinds of sacrifices. They get up early in the morning. Their motivation is greed. They want money. They want power. They want recognition. What is the verse? It says, "So much have I accumulated today, so much more will I get tomorrow. He is my enemy. He shall be slain." And in this way, these people, the mode of passion has become the dominant force within their lives. And so, as long as hankering and wanting remain, there will not be any satisfaction. I want. And so therefore, the mind becomes agitated, and the mind is described as being your best friend or your worst enemy. But as long as the mind is not satisfied, and I'm not providing the objects of my senses, then I will be disturbed. And this is a distraction from making progress on the path of self-realization. And then for those that are bereft of any kind of knowledge at all, and they become addicted to intoxications, drugs, alcohol, they become lazy, they're unclean. So these people are in the mode of darkness or ignorance. And there's, for these people, they're lost. They're most probably going to take birth in lower species of life, and to be born again and again and again within this samsara, this cycle of birth and death. So we know that the soul or the living entity is always going to be active. Not even for 1 second can we cease activities. Even at the time of death, we may think, oh, there's no more activity, but the soul is being put into another life form, and then activity begins again. Even within the womb of the mother, the living entity is active. So we cannot give up activities and say, I will stop doing everything. This is what some forms of yogis practice. They want to do renunciation, go to the forest and practice severe austerities, inflicting themselves on hunger fast and such as that, but the result is fruitless. It's better to eat a nice sumptuous plate of prasadam and engage the senses in the service of Krishna, and in this way we make spiritual progress. Not like Gandhi, who his big weapon that he used to promote his movement was hunger strikes. So he would go on fasts for days on end, and all the people, the British government and all the people, oh, look at him, he's becoming so weak, he's frail, he's not eating, he's going to die, oh, let's give in to his requests. And he's not the only one that has used this ploy. So even someone who says that I will go on a hunger strike until I die, normally, they may go 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, but eventually they're going to eat because they're so hungry. So time will tell, but I think you said that, Parvati Mataji, you said Devananda Swami, he fasted until death. He did it, yeah. It's not that it's impossible to do, but for most people,
he's a responsible.
Yes, he was made sannyasi in 1970.
But you will find many elderly people will fast last few days of the death.
Yeah.
And you realize how many fasts
Well, even Srila Prabhupada, there's, at the time of death, then of course, there's no longer any need to give sustenance to the body, because the body is already shutting down, yes. But I know in my youth, I used to think fasting was good, so I would fast for 3 days, 4 days, without eating anything. But then at the end of those 4 days, then you just start pigging out, glomming on all kinds of food. So again, in this chapter, Krishna is describing many of the do's and the don'ts, and giving a more concise explanation of how to distinguish what mode of nature is predominating our life. And so this is something we should be concerned about. We must be striving to at least, Prabhupada said many times, at least elevate yourself to the mode of goodness. Because in that mode of goodness, your vision becomes clear, your consciousness is capable of, as he wrote in his book, higher thinking or higher tastes. So, it's an everyday ongoing battle. The body, the mind, the senses, the 9 gates that they describe here, all of these, and material nature herself, they are all working against us. They are trying, and that's their responsibility, to make any attempts we have for getting free from their clutches futile. So sometimes just one sense of your senses, like your tongue, can be enough, but sometimes in conjunction with each other, the senses will work together, and then along with the material energy, facilities will be manifest to increase lust and desire and greed and diversion from spiritual life. So if one truly wants to be free from all of these things, Krishna says, Sarvadhammam Prityajad Mamikam Saranam Vraja. Give up all varieties, of sense gratification, of material wanting, and surrender to me, and I will protect you. So I'll stop here. Anyone has a question or a comment or a disagreement? Yes. Hare Krishna.
What do we do when we are in a long journey, in a train or bus, and we don't have anything to eat, like prasada? Can we purchase from outside something, or we should just have fruits? We can't have grains. And just to add to it, so when we go to, recently I went to my home and relatives, so they insist so much, to eat, So what do we do? They can prepare very nice foodstuffs also, but it's not prasadam, but they insist a lot. So what do we do such as?
In the case of long journeys, now long journeys are a thing of the past. A long journey today is one day, 24 hours of traveling, or maybe 30 hours of traveling. So it's possible that for 30 hours you can fast and not eat anything, but if you need some type of food, like if you're on a train, you can buy fruits, or intelligent person would prepare in advance and bring foods with them for their journey. And in the situation when you go to relatives or places such as that, and they are insistent that you eat when we first came to India, we didn't have any place to stay, and we were dependent on karmis for everything, food and lodging and such as that. And Srila Prabhupada accepted foodstuffs from their homes up to a certain point, as long as they, they didn't cook meat in their house, or they, did not use onions and garlic in their cookings and such as that. So if they followed these rules, I remember once there was one lady, she begged Srila Prabhupada, please come to my house for prasadam, please come, and Prabhupada saying, no, we won't come. But she said, please, and so finally he relented and says, okay, we will come, but you must not use any onions or garlic. Oh, no, I won't use any onions, I promise. And as soon as the food was served, immediately you saw it was full of onions. And so Prabhupada says, no, we will not eat. So, and you can also, I do this many times, is that if someone wants to invite and have you eat at their home, you should tell your mother, let me cook. So you should say, let me show you how, we cook, and then you make some nice prasadam for your family, and this way your consciousness can be clear. But sometimes, fasting is not, like I say, the journeys today, I think the longest one I've had in recent memory is like 32 hours. That's flying and staying at the airports, but even at the airports, if you need some food, you can buy a bagel, or you can get a cup of hot milk, or something. So it's not that you must just take food that's come off the altar and then eat it. So we adjust to time and circumstance. Okay. Yes. Oh no. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yeah.
One time, he voted for on a train with Srila Prabhupada. It was a long ride. When the train stopped, he called over somebody who was selling samosas.
Yeah.
And then the voter said, "Oh, it's not prashadam. How can we eat that?" He said, "You don't have to eat. I'm eating it."
He added saying that sadhana is hungry.